Corner and breaking out padded pizzazz. Mayview, Westside King till I desire.
Carolina about that action, get the scrapping, you dig? I want that bigger bag, not a fraction, you dig? I'ma stand on what I said, I don't be capping, you dig? I'm from the heart of Crosstown, I don't be lacking, you dig? Now turn me up, there gon' be Z-Bo. He gon' blow for show, get into it. Always double up, that's the way to go. Like them little booty women with small frames, that's intimate. Or big bubba jams with big titties, that's intimate. They gon' Crosstown coming in hot, that's why I speed past. Put you in a pack, smoke you up, this is all gas. Been thugging in the city for years and never let up. Aging like fine wine, the grind still getting better. I can sight still light your life up. From big chopsticks to big pipers, the rusty rifles, we nothing like you. Country City always bringing the vibes. They always see the dark side, but not the Jedi in the eyes.
True hustle, graduated gun buster. We used to fist fight, nine switches and box cutters. Reading through my Quran, if they ain't possible through Allah. Remember being the temple, getting blessed from a top side. You know it's different.
It's Twan in the building. This is the 704 Charlotte Bound Show. Welcome. It's Monday night, man, where today's show is titled The Panthers Must Draft Weapons of Mass Destruction. We don't want no more of the depth guys that don't do anything, that's not developed. We want to go after these diamonds in the rough and find out who these diamonds in the roughs in this draft are that are going to come in and be dogs on day one, even if they don't start. You guys can also check out all the player breakdowns I've been doing for a series that I'm doing called Torn Don's Film School. Today I did Ty Robinson, and we'll mention him in the show today too, man, because he'll probably go late in the draft. But look, this guy does not have a whole lot of downside, man, and we'll get into that and players like him. What can I say, man? I'm happy to be here. Peace, love, and blessings to everybody out there, and hope everybody's doing well at the beginning of this work week. It's a Monday. It's wet. Depends on where you are, but let's get into it, man. First to the show, man. Let me go ahead and get the co-host up in here. We got my man Edge in the building. Let me go ahead and add Edge up in here. Edge, what's good with you?
Oh, yo, what's good with everybody, man? Hope y'all enjoying y'all Monday. And we're gonna give you some stuff. We're gonna give you some facts, and we shoot straight to the hip. We don't sugarcoat.
There you go. First lady of the show, man. Debate is stored in there, football is stored in there. I say what I say about it. You can put your people up against it, they probably gonna lose, man. But it's all fun and games. AC in the building. I call her.
Yo.
What up? What's up with you? Yeah.
Not much. It's a Monday. Wishing it was Friday, but it's Monday.
Yeah, man. 704 Charlotte Bound Show in the building. We here, man. So let's just get into it.
Okay.
Oh man, look, the show titled today's Weapons of Mass Destruction. What that means is that we're talking about these diamonds in the roughs. I know everybody out there at this point got to be tired of hearing about first round, second round. We're just gonna, talking about diamonds in the rough, anything that's latest news with the Carolina Panthers. Very short show today, man. It's only gonna be about an hour. I know at this point you guys are like, listen, we've heard. Well, what are you guys gonna tell us that no other Panther show has told us? So, we're gonna go from this angle. And if anyone in the chat, it's like, hey, look, you guys should look up these guys, or whatever. It's going to be a lot of chat activity tonight. I want to know who you guys think we should go after in the later rounds, that you've been keeping your eye on. Claire is a mastermind at later rounds and finding guys. Sometimes the guys that she liked too, that you can find late, wind up jumping up the first round for whatever reason. But she had a guy in the 6 and now he's top 10 for whatever reason. But she has a great eye.
Well,
I like to think that I have a great eye, but look, man, shout out to the people in the chat already, man. Earl Lockley is in the building. So what's going on, y'all? Relax and Talk Sports is in the building. Yo, I love that icon that you got out for yourself, man. That shit is groovy. And Anthony Brown in the building said, what's good? What's going on with you too, brother? Hey, look, man, one of the greatest guys at the show, man, that comes over here, shows up, great comments.
Flame.
Also, always, producing to the show. Flame for Jesus, man, with the $5 super chat up in here. Hello, everyone. I hope all you guys had a blessed week. I'm having one so far. This was a relaxed Monday today, man. I don't be really feeling good on a Monday. You know what I'm saying? But it was wet outside here in Raleigh, North Carolina, rainy,
Mm.
and rainy days. You get to take those power naps. Especially if you don't have to work that day. And I ain't trying to rub it in for nobody. I shout out to Zara Kifa, said, "What's going on, good people? What's going on with you as well?" And my man Raxa Talks said, "Flame hit the lottery." Yeah, man. Flame just show love. He ain't hit the lottery. He just show love, man. He shows love. Claire, first up, man, I'm gonna talk about a guy that I did today, and I
Okay.
hope more people are going out there and taking a look at this guy, man. Is Ty Robinson.
Hmm.
Claire, I think this guy's an absolute beast. I'm shocked that he's going late, but if he's going late, then whatever. The Carolina Panthers have to go get this guy, put this guy next to
Hmm.
Derek Brown. And yeah, he probably will start off being backup. You know what I'm saying? I'm fine with that.
Right.
Because there are
Hmm.
some things that he does need to be developed on, but it ain't a
Hmm.
whole lot, Clara. It's not a whole lot. You know,
Hmm.
what have you heard or what have y'all heard about Ty Robinson? And already, man, we got T. Thompson here saying love Ty Robinson. Look, man, look, I'm going by with him. I'm gonna tell you what I go off. He's a bully. He plays violently. He's the guy that every time he tackles somebody, he gonna get up and scream and get the guys involved. He bats balls down well. I mean, he gets up there and knocks him down. Just infectious. You know what I'm saying? I don't want a guy out there no more. We're not talking about no guys that just want a paycheck. We need
Hmm.
weapons of destruction.
Yeah.
So what do you feel about Ty
Guys,
Robinson?
for me, it's he may not be the biggest defensive tackle in the draft by no stretch of the
Mm-hmm.
imagination, but to me, it's the combination of his size and his athleticism. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I know he did shine in the combine, and I think it was mostly because the 40 time that he ran was one of the higher ones for his class. Um, but some things that I have
Up,
heard
Jeremy.
through analysts and in an NFL draft, if you want to call them aficionados, however you want to look
Mm-hmm.
at them.
Mm-hmm.
The biggest thing that they talk about is just his quickness off the snap. That's like the first thing that I hear very often when relating to Ty Robinson. Why he's
Mm-hmm.
going so late, I don't know. I don't know if it's lack of reps. But I think the thing with him that would stick out if I'm the Panthers is going to be the quickness off the snap, his athleticism in comparison to his size. And then I think the third thing, if I could pick three things, would be the fact that he has made impacts in both the pass and run game. We focused a lot on the run in free agency. And I'm not going to say that he excels at both, but he has made impacts at both. He's not just a sole, I guess you call him three tech. He's not just, he's not just a good run stopper. He's also good against pass protection as well. So I think that those three things, if I'm the Panthers, knowing I'm wanting to run defensive platoons, meaning just different droves and different looks and different schemes. And if he's someone I'm developing, someone who can be good at both and can be developed in other ways is going to be someone that I'm going to look at because that means he's versatile. So
Okay.
those are my
Um,
three things.
all good things, man. Somebody in the chat asked to see his measurables.
Hmm.
So I wanted to throw that up real quick, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat as well. T. Thompson out here. T. Thompson said that he's an elite DT, in my opinion, just like Braden Fisk. I'm glad he said that because that's who this guy reminds me of another Braden Fisk. You know what I'm saying? And look, me being a Florida State fan, I ain't even gonna lie to you. It's just like he plays even more violently than Braden Fisk did. You know? Brady Fisk had a certain finesse to his his game. Just to do Ty Robinson, took a bunch of those gas station pills, and he makes
Oh
his way
God.
in that backfield, bro, and it's a problem. He said, I would like to take Tay Robinson in the third round personally. Not if he's not suited to go in the third. I don't want to reach. I just want people to sleep on him, and then we grab him. As far as his measurables, T. Thompson, and I show these. Make sure you guys go check out my player breakdown, player film school that I did earlier today. It's only like 30 minutes. All the ones I've done in like 30 minutes. His height is 6'5". His weight is 288. I'm pretty sure Clara will agree, and Edge would agree. I would like to see him get a little bigger.
Well, that's what I was saying earlier.
Yeah.
He's a little bit smaller in the sense of weight wise. Height, he's fine, but it was his weight that I know. His weight, and I think someone talked about his arm
length. He don't look smaller at all.
Well, that's true. That is true.
He look like a damn juggernaut. His hands, his arms is a problem, but it don't seem to be a problem with him getting past guys. And when you see the highlights in what I did, his 40 time 4.83, man, he was fast as shit at that position. Look at his vert, blocking balls out at 33.5. His broad jump was 119, and that's in the upper 85 percentile. And that has a lot to do with that 10-yard split and how fast he can get off a ball, man. His bench press 225 28 times. That's up there in the upper. I've seen guys go 40, 45, but those guys were just weight room guys. You don't see a lot of guys that convert that over onto the field and have technique with it. You could just be strong and not have any skills. And I think his 10-yard split was 1.71. That's good to me.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I know T. Thompson was asking what Braden Fisk's measurables were. By comparison, they stack up fairly close. Ty Robinson does have larger sized hands by a slight bit. Braden Fisk also did run a faster 40, which means he also had a faster 10-yard split as well. I'm trying to look just to see. Ty Robinson, however, he had a longer broad jump. He had a better bench press than Braden Fisk did.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as this is where I guess I don't know if you want to say it gets hairy, but so between the 40 time, the shuttle, and the 3 cone and all that, Braden Fisk has Ty Robinson beat by a good bit as far as times. So I think they're close in the sense of their height and their weight, and their 40 times are fairly close. Braden Fisk still got them pretty good, but Braden Fisk ran a 4.78. He ran a 4.83. So, I mean, outside of that, their measurables are fairly close. Braden Fisk just happened to absolutely, do an amazing job in the shuttle and in the drills, a little bit better than Ty did outside of that. And then Ty had bigger hands. Ty's got bigger hands than Braden Fisk. So.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, and Ty Robinson has longer arms than Braden Fisk. I didn't know that.
Yeah, bro, but they make it seem like that's a he's
no. I just didn't know. I figured, that they would have. I figured their arm length would be about the same, but Braden Fisk came in at 31 inches flat. So, but that should also say, because look at what Braden Fisk did though, with the Rams. Arm length isn't everything, and Braden Fisk just lit it up.
What say you, Edge? What you think?
Ty Robinson, he can be sneaky when he needs to be, but what I see from him when I saw a little bit of tape on him last year, like live games, what I saw with him, he's like the Energizer Bunny. He just keeps going. He doesn't know, like, stop is not in his vocabulary. Like I'm pretty sure if he sees a stop sign, I'm pretty sure he'll stop in his car. But if you got him on the football field, he don't know. He don't know the word stop. He don't know the word stop.
Hey man,
the only time he stops is when he hears the whistle. That's the only time he stops. But that's literally why I see high motor, high energy. The guy got skill, and I mean, he get to the quarterback, yeah. But does he get to the quarterback often? No.
Easily.
But when but here's the thing though.
He's got so
I
many
don't need
pressures.
him to get.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I don't need him to get to the quarterback. I just need him to create pressure because when you create a pressure, that causes the quarterback to be, I don't know, inaccurate. That causes the running back to either shift inside to get routed up by the defensive end, or push him out to the outside, and you have the freaking linebacker in the corner sitting right there, just waiting to pounce on him. So it's not all about it's not all about sacks. Like, it's like what you can do with the pressures, man. That's what you have to look at.
What is everybody always screaming about on that they want us to have on defense? They say that we want guys that can do what? That can
Get to the quarterback.
stop the run.
Yeah.
This guy can stop the run. He can clog the run. He can beat quarterbacks that try to get to the outside of him and cut them off. Bruh. Somebody said, I like Nash Hutchmatcher. I can't find that guy, man. Are you sure that's the right spelling, Rex and Talk Sports? You know? Shout out to Flame for Jesus, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he continued showing and blessing us with his love, man. You know, he said, look, we just played a defensive tackle, $18 million. He mean paid. Yeah, that's correct. A defensive tackle, $18 million a year, and he is smaller than Claire. The one out of Kansas City, and he was a UDFA, if I remember
He's
correctly.
talking about Turk.
Yeah, I wasn't big on that either, Flame for Jesus. I agree with you. It's like, man, listen, why put this money into these guys when you got guys getting ready to come in?
Well, here's the thing with the guy from Kansas City. I'm telling you, look, Twan, the guy from Kansas City. Yes, he played with Chris Jones. Well, you're making it sound like he a bum.
No, I'm saying he played next to Chris Jones. That can.
I get. No, it's not a bad thing, but I think it can also help you if you're not Chris Jones. Because they're going to target Chris Jones, and you can. It's easier to get off when you've got someone like Chris Jones that the offense is going to target more than you. Not that that's a bad thing, because that means it worked. Because Turk did get home for like, what was it, 9 sacks or something last year. So you know,
it's 9 sacks.
Led
the team in sacks. I mean, he didn't lead the team in sacks. He was second in sacks.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like when we had Hassan Reddick and Brian Burns out there together. They both played off of each other, and but when there was no more Hassan Reddick, man, Burns wasn't the same.
No, it's true.
You know, then teams could just put, not that Burns wasn't good anymore. It's just they like, we only have to concentrate on him and Derek Brown. We don't got to worry about one dude coming off the edge. And then when we went to the 3-4, most teams have to worry about coming off the edge anyway because they put him an outside linebacker. That's another argument for another day. But what we're saying is, if edge is already good at something and then they put me down there with edge, they're probably going to put more of their attention on edge. I'm eating off of edge. But if edge goes to another team, now what am I going to do? Am I going to show up the same way?
I mean, it's a copycat league out there, dog.
Yeah, I ain't got a problem with him. I'm just, you could go get a Ty Robinson and just start developing him. Because my formula is always going to be this. Are we going to win? Like, are we trying to go deep into a playoff next year? If people are saying, no, that's not going to be possible, then why are you trying to go get home run shit when you could just be building through your draft until you get there?
Well, here's the thing, and this is what I'm seeing. And people may disagree with me. I don't care. This is what I see, and this is where my thing of I can turn your 6th-round picks into Pro Bowl is going to come into play. The guys that they're bringing in. No, listen, just listen, because you might agree with me. These guys that they're bringing in, these guys are key guys. But when these guys coming up in the draft come in, they're going to build off of them and then look at the contracts. The contracts is what's telling everything. These guys are getting like what 2-3 year deals. So the free agencies that they're signing right
Well,
now, they're there to fill they're there to fill the pieces in while the draft guys develop. When the draft guy after a year or like half the season, the kids that get drafted, they're going to be intertwining with these guys, and it's basically going to be a rotating flux of guys
Right.
to see what's working, what
well,
doesn't work,
and I agree
if
with
an
half
injury
that.
pops in, like say I don't want no injuries to happen, but like say freaking the guy we got
Knock
from
on
Kansas
wood.
City, Turk
Yeah, it's football.
Mhm.
blows a knee, blows out his knees out for the season. But we have Ty Robinson out there who's been going in and out of the lineup for like the past 3 or 4 weeks,
Mhm.
figuring it out, doing what he need to do. Turk goes down. Hey, Robinson, go out there and start eating. Hey, guess
So
what?
essentially, the
Now
idea
he
of
can
what
start eating.
Detroit.
He start getting his going.
So what
Exactly.
Detroit's been doing is what you're saying. What Detroit
Exactly.
has been
But here's
doing.
the thing. But yeah, true. But here's the thing. Though, with Detroit, they were grabbing guys off of the bench, off of other teams, calling guys in. Hey, look, I know you just did a semi-retirement. Hey, but we need you right now. But instead of doing that, we're getting guys from the drafts to come in and do that now instead of it being free agency guys. We're getting these guys in from the draft.
So
You
here's
know?
where I agree with you on what you're saying, and yeah, that is the correct spelling. I just looked him up. It's Nash Hutmacher.
Okay.
So
Nash
so for those of you, just to kind of go off, if you wanted to know, Ty Robinson is to, and this is probably not the best comparison, but just so people can kind of get an idea of how I think they use these two based off of what I've looked at so far. I think Ty Robinson is to what's his damn name? Mason Graham, as Kenneth Grant is to Nash Hutmacher. Mason Graham is the smaller defensive end, DT. Kenneth Grant is the bigger guy. This is kind of the same thing, it looks like, where you had Ty, who is a little bit smaller, definitely more athletic, more explosive and quicker, and Nash is definitely going to be more of your 3-tech, run-stopping, bigger guy at 6'4", 312 pounds. I think that's kind of what they were running with. So I don't remember seeing him. I also missed part of the DT stuff at the combine. So if he was there, I did not have any notes on him. So I'm not aware of him. But just looking at how they've used them in some just like little shorts I just watched, that seems to be the dynamic, is like a Mason Graham and Kenneth Grant and kind of deal with how they used them on the field together. So to continue on to what Edge was saying, the most of their deals, Edge, they were 3 to 4 years, not 2 to 3. The key part about their deals is they are structured to where all their guaranteed money is through the first 2 years of those 3 to 4 year deals. So it makes it easier to either manipulate the contract and or cut them outright. Which is, in other words, it's almost like we have an out. It is a good thing. But I do think that the guys we've brought in, because of their ages, I don't see, and I could be wrong, but I don't see where you could take in these guys at how young a lot of them are and not think that if they perform well, and if they outperform your draft pick, you obviously keep them versus keeping the guy that you drafted, or you still keep the draft guy at depth, but you don't extend him. So that's just kind of what I'm thinking, because either way, we needed to do a whole, I can't even say a revamp. We need to overhaul a lot of our positions on defense. And I think some of these guys that we signed are going to be here for more than just these one contracts that we've got them here for. Could be wrong, but I feel like that's potentially going to be the case. Anyway, I'm hoping we can continue to just develop our own guys, but if Evero may not be here next year, then who knows?
Exactly.
So,
But
yeah.
I think the guys we're getting are pretty neutral that they're looking at. So it won't be no drop off if he does go.
Yeah, that's true.
But look, let me pull this. Hey, so I pulled up Nash Hutmacher. Is that correct?
I think if it's German, which I think it is, it's going to be that CH is going to become like a K. So I think it's Hutmacher.
And shout out to Kitty, first lady over there at
that cat.
Black Cat Panther podcast. I had something in my throat. Always showing love over here. 704 Charlotte Bound Show. Shout out to Kitty. But it is his numbers. They're I have to tell you, just looking at his numbers,
Mm-hmm.
oh, it looks like undrafted free agent to me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So,
Because
so with
he's
Nash, he was not at the combine.
15. Yeah,
Okay.
assistant 9, and he's also a senior on top of that. 2 sacks this past year. He had 4.5 the year before. 1 forced fumble. Bigger was up here. Those are just not great numbers.
Yeah. Unless the stats that we're not seeing, which is like what was his pressure rate. Now, if he just had a crazy pressure rate, that would push him further up. Like just great against the run.
If he had a good PR, but I'm afraid this guy might be. But I mean, look,
he would probably be an undrafted.
Right. So he's 6'4", but if you guys want to bring that guy in, as an undrafted, it never hurts to have a guy on the team. Like, say we get a Ty Robinson, never hurts to have a guy on the team that he's familiar with.
Facts.
Yeah. I mean, look at Philly when they got Jordan Davis, and then a year later they got Jalen Clark. They got Jalen Carter. Yeah. They both played off each other immensely.
Oh,
we doing the little South Carolina thing over here too, bro.
Yeah.
All right. Someone else wanted to see. I told you this is your show today, man. We're just gonna pull up, and we're looking at diamonds in the rough. And if Ed, you got one too, but somebody said let's take a look at Nazir Stackhouse, and he's been in several
interesting one. This is an interesting one for me, Twan, just because I've seen him go as early as round 4, and I've also seen him go as late as round 7.
Yeah, he's been all over the place.
No, I don't know why. Like, it's crazy where I've seen him go sometimes, and it's just like, why is there no set idea of where he could actually go? I mean, this guy, for one, he's a monster. I think he's a true nose. And after Bobby Brown, who is it? Shy Tuttle?
Yep.
Yep, depth. There it is. That's why I was like, yep, depth. There it is. And if it is someone who we could get late, and we do, let's say, kind of like to piggyback off of what Twan just said, let's say in the first round, I know we're trying not to talk about the first round, but let's say we do get a Jalen Walker or a Mykel Williams. There's a Nasir Stackhouse who can grow and develop along with him, and also be part of those platoons that they're talking about. Yep. There you go.
All right, so I got Nakir Stackhouse's times things for the combine.
I was gonna say Twan's about to show them all because it's going to be on this draft profile.
I got all of it.
Yeah, right there. It's going to show everything. Oh well, hi Walter Nolan. You're someone else that I like, but
so he's 6'4", 327 pounds. I like his size. Pause. Slow. 5.15. I don't like that speed though. But
as a nose tackle.
Percentile of his player rating, no sacks last year, no forced fumbles, tackles and solo tackles, and see with his numbers, I want to believe that he didn't play in every game last year. There's no way.
That I can find out real quick while you're talking.
He had to have missed games with those numbers, bro. Or he was just out there.
No, I don't think he missed any games because.
Well, that's what I'm looking up now.
But his hands is 10 and a quarter, 67%. His 40 time is in the red, and that's not good. He's slow. His vert is bad. He got a bad vert. Got 3 corners in the middle. He's strong.
I was going to say he's
27.
Yeah, I was trying not to say anything about his weight, but I'm pretty sure with his weight, getting a high vertical is probably not something he's going to be doing a whole lot of.
Right.
I would imagine not, at least. It shows that he played in every single game all the way from. There doesn't look like there was much of a gap. 31st. I don't think. How many games are there typically? What is it, like 12 or 13? 1,
13.
2, 3,
He's
4,
13
5,
games.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
He played
He
14.
played in 12.
Mm.
I've got
So,
12, but
so you guys know too. This is the color legend on what they place, and see, you want to stay out of that orange, going all the way back to that deep red, and
if
that's
you're in
all
that
we really
yellow
see with him.
onward
Yeah, that yellow and
to
up is
blue.
better. Yeah, to blue
Hmm.
is better. When you
Yeah.
start hitting that orange, and he got a lot of orange and red up here, bro.
Yeah.
So, like, look, people may see them better. My opinion, we're speaking as the show, and I'll go
Hmm.
around to clear the edge. My opinion is I wouldn't touch him.
Hmm.
I wouldn't.
I would only.
When I see these
Go
numbers,
ahead.
something's going on with his motor. Go ahead, Claire.
Mm. I was gonna say
But
if I were to touch him at all.
yeah, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say if I were to touch him at all, it would be in that much later round area, like that 6th or 7th. If I'm drafting him with the intention of developing him and him taking time to grow and maybe get in with like the training staff, kind of figure out where um I don't want to say necessarily like you can't really like touch intangibles, but just for him to work on his craft, his speed, things of that nature, any kind of technique work that he can do that can help kind of overshadow or supersede rather these red areas that we know are now going to be weaknesses. And that's what I would do. He is not somebody that I would anticipate drafting with the intentions of putting him out there as a potential starter if like Bobby Brown were to go down or something of that nature. Does that make sense? I
Absolutely.
guess.
Shout
So,
out to Zaire Kifa. He said, and then he's who brought him up. He says Zaire is a space eater that allows Jalen to
oh
make
yeah.
LDE, and that's probably very, very true. But the thing
Hmm.
is at the NFL ranking, they want you to be able to do stuff too. They don't want you to just be the space. They want you
Yeah.
to get the tackles and do everything else too.
I
I
was
mean, then that just changes him into a situational player if you're gonna do that.
Yeah. And I was gonna say too, it is better to have if how can I put this? If there are two guys that you can put in the middle, maybe they're not big guys and they don't eat space, but they impact every single drive as far as like two guys in the middle. If you were to do like a 4-2-5, for example, if those two guys in the middle can make more impact than the one guy that's the space eater, they're going to stick with those two guys and not worry about the space eater. Trust me. If you're just there to eat space, that's not you have anymore. They would much rather use
Mm,
two guys who can make an impact than just one guy who just eats space.
exactly.
So
Well, uh, what do you think, Edge? Would you want to take a chance with him? Edge.
No, I
Edge.
mean even if we do get
Uh-oh.
his running mate, I mean we already got guys like that can eat the middle up, so we're good with that. But
What?
y'all can't hear me?
You keep cutting in and out.
I can hear
Hello?
you.
Hello?
Oh,
Can you hear
okay.
us?
Nah, I was just yeah, I can hear y'all. I was talking. Wait, y'all can't. Okay,
We can hear you. Just
can y'all
continue
hear?
with your
Can y'all
point.
hear me?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Okay, cool. All right.
I
No,
think you have a delay,
basically
but
what I was
continue.
saying. Okay. Well, like I say, even if we do get his running mate, I mean, I don't see why we should pick him up. I mean, he'll just be a developmental piece. Now I understand, he's a space eater, and we got Shy Tuttle for that. But Shy Tuttle, I mean,
Shy Tuttle's not a space
he
eater.
has to roll out.
No.
Bobby Brown is bigger than he is.
Well, what I mean,
It's a
no,
space race.
what I mean by him, yeah. What I mean by him being a space eater is he's just a space eater that's on a roster that's just sitting there clogging up space, not doing nothing with it.
Next
Mm.
question, man.
I mean,
The next question comes from Lax and Talk Sports. It says, "What do you guys think about Jalen Royals?" I've talked about him to no end. I'll let Claire or Edge hit y'all with that get a different side of that with me. But look, speaking of that, Relax and Talk Sports. I did a complete breakdown of him. Go to the 704 Charlotte Bound Show. Make sure you guys like all these videos. Make sure you guys have your notification bells on all, because we're having problems with people getting notifications.
or
And
not getting them.
yeah, or not getting them. Go look in there and you will see the breakdown I did on Jalen Royals. I love him, but I'll let Claire and Edge come from their vantage point.
I was gonna say, who
No, I
do you
like.
want to go first, Edge? Go ahead.
I mean, I
I'm
like the
just
kid. The
I'm
kid
just
got.
more in love
Kid
with
got.
Jaden Haynes now.
I don't know. I mean, I like the kid. The kid got speed. The kid got separation for days. I mean, what is there? What is there that he cannot do? Um, I can't think of nothing that he cannot do. What's something that he can work on more? Um, I don't know, because he does everything. He can fight off the hands of the defender. He can, like I say, he can separate. I mean, I
So
guess
If you
I don't
like
know.
DJ
I don't know what he
Moore,
can work on.
if you like DJ
I was
Moore, then you'll love Jalen Royals.
Yeah.
so I think for me, and this is why I think Jalen Royals is getting talked about in that late second, potentially early third kind of conversation.
Mm-hmm.
He does have speed. I'm not going to take that away from him at all,
Out the
because
wazoo.
the kid's got speed, and he plays faster than that 40 time he produced, and his 10-yard split is something out of like a Madden novel, if there was ever such a thing. To me, because I've watched tape on him, I've only watched one full game of him. I've watched highlights. I've also watched lowlights. The thing for me that seems to be a weakness, route running, and because he is on the smaller side, I think physicality at the line is going to be one of his biggest weaknesses. Being able to get that first break, to shake a defender, he's really got to use that speed at that next level to take off. Um, and I was going to say, those are the only two things I really think, as far as like, if he were to take the top off and just run downhill, he would be, phenomenal. But I think those like shorter, I won't say intermediate levels, but I do know like the short routes he needs to go. And because of his size, blocking. If we ever need him to block, that would probably be something that would be better suited for a different running back, Jesus Christ, wide receiver. But those are my three. If there were weaknesses, just a slightly underdeveloped route tree with the short, maybe some intermediate routes. His physicality at the line, and then blocking. If we ever asked him to block, would he? Probably yes, but would he be successful at it? Would be the bigger question. Those are my only three things that were
He
negative about him.
was. He.
Outside of that, the kid.
What happened to you, Claire? Yo. Did we lose Claire? Hello. If anybody can hear me in the chat, please put the thumbs up if you can hear me in the chat. Can y'all hear me in the chat? Okay, Relax and Talk's got the thumbs up. Let me see if I can get Claire and them back in here. They're in the same house, so I'm thinking maybe something might have happened with their internet or something. So I'll wait for him to join back in. But listen, this is Jalen Royals' numbers right here. He was ranked at when I did it originally did the film school on him. He was ranked fifth, but now they got these guys moving up ahead of him. They got him down here now at ninth. I'm telling y'all, he's not ninth. In my opinion, he's better than Noel. He's way better than Trey Harris. He's not better than Jaden Higgins to me. I don't know a whole lot about Emeka. I didn't watch Ohio State like that. Yeah, Luther Burden is probably better than him as well. Matthew Golden, I don't know, man. I'm telling you, listen, this guy, Jalen Royals, and for people that know things about him, they'll tell you he had a trash quarterback. That's why his numbers. It ain't him. Yeah, Claire just texted me and said they just lost their internet. So hopefully they'll get that back up. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if they have a thunderstorm in their area or something like that, but the show goes on. You know what I'm saying? And I'm still going to continue to do this until we can get him back up in there. But yeah, man, that the boy is a beast, man. He's an absolute beast. He can carry his own with what he does out here. I mean, there is no drop off with him. Claire says she don't think he runs routes well. I mean, I think his route running is pretty decent. I think maybe she just meant that he just think he can improve in that. But no. T Thompson said Jalen Royals is a DJ Moore light. That's my comp. I said it. I didn't even see that. I said the same thing, man. If you like DJ Moore, you're gonna like Jalen. I mean, then you're gonna like Jalen Royals, man. I mean, that's who he is. And if you like Noel, that plays for the next to Higgins over there at Iowa State, then he's like an almost St. Brown, bro. I mean, he's dead on when he said that. Relaxing Talk Sports says, what about ball guy Landon Johnson? And bro, take a quick look at Landon real quick. Let me see where he's predicted to go. What school did Landon Johnson go to? Give me the school that he went to. And I'll recheck that. Alexa Thompson said, I'm just keeping you guys with topics. Tell me this. No, bro. That's what we're doing. Today we're asking for feedback from the chat to find out what are the diamond in the roughs that you guys feel like is going on and who we should be looking at, you know what I'm saying, in these later rounds, these diamond in the roughs. But these guys that are dogs, weapons that we can actually use and not seat fillers, G7 said Rose is not better than Noel. In my opinion, he is. I think he's better. The reason why I'm saying that is because Noel had a decent quarterback. And Higgins said, look, that Utah State quarterback was trash. He's terrible, man. He overthrew this man so many times, underthrew him, throwing at his feet. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they recognize how good he is. We got Claire back in here. But they recognize how good he was in spite of that. But if you put Jalen Noels over there with the Iowa State team, it'd have been different. That Utah State quarterback was absolute dirt. Zach Kiefer said, I don't like wide receivers from small schools. The competition is not the same. It's not, but when you got when you can find that diamond, that guy that no matter what, he gonna play in any system good. It's just I mean, look, I don't like really naming anomalies, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. But people like to do that sometimes. I mean, do we all remember the wide receiver that came out of Marshall? Do I need to say his name? Hey, Claire, can you hear me? Well,
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Okay. Sorry about that. We have no idea what's going on.
You're okay. You're okay. Now
Okay. So
tell me the wide receiver that came out of Marshall.
the wide receiver that came out of Marshall?
The most famous wide receiver ever to come out of Marshall.
I feel like this is a trick question.
It's not a trick question. There's only one. Randy Moss. Randy freaking Moss.
Oh, Randy. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry. I'm over here messing with like 3 different things.
Yeah. It's Randy Moss. I mean, look, and I say I'm not gonna put that with a whole lot of green because that's an anomaly. I don't like going with anomalies, but it does happen.
Got you.
It does happen. Yeah, exactly. You're right, Corey. Dante Thornton was good too. But
Oh, from
yeah, man.
Tennessee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So who else? What's the next player y'all think is gonna be a diamond in the rough, man? And we'll check them out together.
Oh Lord.
And I'm speaking to the chat and the people up here.
I
Ty
mean,
Felton from Maryland receiver. All right, let's go check that out.
Okay, good.
I thought that Prather kid was supposed to be decent coming out there.
Oh, Maryland Caden Prather.
Yeah.
I haven't watched enough tape on him. I've heard a couple people
Me
speak
either.
highly on him,
Yeah.
but I haven't. A lot of. I think it just if you're a Maryland fan, you speak highly of them. But,
oh yeah,
So
of course,
he
man.
ain't, yeah, he not in the top 10. But that don't mean nothing to me. This is just their opinion of what the top 10 is. Let's get his measurables. And we are talking about Ty Felton right now out of the University of Maryland. Check out his measurables. 6'1". Decent height on him. Hands 9, 31. His 40 time is woo. Player 4'3". 4'3'7".
oh, he's fast. Okay.
Blue. That's blue all day. His vert is at 39.5. That's 100%. His broad 130. His 10-yard split is 1.51.
Mm-hmm.
The problem he runs into is his weight. They want him to be a little bigger than that, and his arms.
Yeah.
He's got some small. His hands are on the smaller side, but I don't care about hands as
His
long as he can
hands.
catch.
I was going to say his hands are at the limit of what they would consider the tipping point, if you will. Like 9
Right.
inches and greater is what they look for.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, man. Let's look at his strength and weaknesses. That's something that we need to look out, man. All right, so his strength is elite times. Special shows up on the tape. So he's fast as hell, crafty separator who sells his breaks with exceptional head and shoulder fakes that leave corners flat-footed in a man coverage. That's definitely good. Yeah, man. Who picked this one right here? This is definitely a diamond in the rough right here, man.
mm-hmm. Can't teach speed.
Zaire, yeah. Can't teach speed, bro. You know what I'm saying? I know I'm hearing a lot of people saying go out the horn with Colorado, but if you can get a better guy, changes gears masterfully. If they say masterfully in the mid route, lugging defenders to sleep before exploding into his breaks on the immediate concept, oh man, that could be good.
Mm-hmm.
That could be good. Thrives on timing routes where precision matters more than raw physical tools, particularly on comeback and option routes. Is Bryce a good timing quarterback?
Timing?
Let's see this. Yeah. They got him only down for 4
Hmm.
weaknesses. They said that Bill lacks ideal thickness throughout the frame, he's just basically saying he's too small. struggles to consistently win through contact on contested catches where size limitations become an apparent against longer defenders. Hey, look, man, we had Steve Smith. So that height matters, but if he ain't got the build of Steve Smith, that's going to be different too. Blocking effort fluctuates drive to drive. So they're basically saying that he blocks when he wants to. Yeah, we're gonna need a a wide receiver out there that can block, but that can be fixed. You know, you know. And late career production spikes raises questions about sustainability of success against consistently higher caliber competition at the next level. So they're
Well, a
basically
lot of
saying that
these,
he can be hit or miss.
yeah. Well, a lot of these guys in
Not
the
like
later
his size. Yeah,
rounds would have to be treated that way anyway.
right. Yeah, they really don't like his size for whatever reason. Pause. I shout out to my
Kyle,
man, Cal Manunga. Yeah, we could do him. I mean,
mhm.
I brought his name up several times, Claire Edge, the running back out of Rutgers. But
Yep.
and we'll go back to that. I mean, yeah, definitely take a look at him, later on. We got Nick in the building. Nick, what's going on, bro?
What's good? What's up, man?
Neil Shadow Wolf said, hey Twan, I want your honest opinion of Ricky White and Nick Nash as potential wide receivers in the later rounds. I would consider rocking with Nick Nash. I don't know a lot about Ricky White, Claire, or Edge or Nick. Are y'all
Ricky,
familiar with Ricky White?
I'm familiar with him. He went to UNLV.
Okay.
He's so. This is my thing with him. For his height, I expected him to be faster. Because he's on. I think he's like 5'10", 5'11", but he is productive. I mean, he got over 1,000 receiving yards, and I think he got double digit, touchdowns. So he is a reliable pass catcher. But I guess the biggest thing, with Nick Nash, he stands out because of his height. He was the Triple Crown winner, for three different things. So even though he went to, I think it was, what was it, San Jose, he stands out because he did something to make himself stand out. Ricky White, I feel like people were talking about him a lot in the beginning, and as more things have progressed, there are people who have jumped him, and he's slowly getting pushed back down the line as far as receivers and talent, talent and receivers in this draft. Um, so it put it this way: he is productive, but is he going to be somebody that's going to jump off the page at you? No. But I mean, it could be one of those situations where if he goes to the right spot, he gets used appropriately. Um, he could be somebody who could be, like a wide receiver 4 or 5. He's definitely going to be a slot guy. He's not. If you guys are looking for a wide receiver 1 later in the draft, he is not going to be that guy. He is purely a slot type wide receiver. So, and for him to be a slot, I would hope he would be faster. But anyway,
looking at the numbers, his 2023 season. I mean, 88 receptions for 1,483 yards, 8 touchdowns. I mean, they're good, but then the next year he dropped 400. He dropped off 400 yards and had freaking 9 less catches, but he got more touchdowns. He got 11.
Like I said, he has production. He also is in that area of conversation of what kind of talent did he play against, knowing he's going to be going up against, top tier talent in the NFL. So he is purely, to me, he is going to be a slot receiver. He's not going to be a 1. So if you guys are looking at a 1 later in the draft, he's going to be purely depth, and he may start out more as a return guy. And I haven't watched enough film on him yet to know if he was ever used much in the return situation for punt or kick return. So
as of right now, no, he was not. Actually, nope. I take that back. Kick returns. He had 1 punt return for a touchdown.
Oh, wow.
He did. Oh, that was. Yeah, he had one. Yeah, he had 1 punt return for a touchdown. Yards per punt return 22 and a half, 22 and a half. But that was last year. But that was last year. Last year in 2024, he had 4 punt returns, average of 90 yards, average of 22 and a half, 1 yard. But his all-purpose yards, rushing, receiving, and returning, he had the most in 2023 with 1,484, and then in 2024 he had 1,132. So,
like I said,
That's not bad.
productive.
It's not bad.
Like I said, he has
Yeah.
production, but does he do anything that leaps off the page at you?
no.
Oh no, that
No.
1,000 yards kind of leaped off the.
Well, I get again production, but is he going
Yeah,
to?
what else?
That's all I got for you.
Yeah. What does blocking
I mean, he
look
did
like?
come from.
He's
I
definitely
don't
not
know. I
going to
mean,
be
he
a
did come
blocker
from.
either.
He did. No, he's not. He definitely he came from. He went from Michigan State to Nevada, Las Vegas. So he went to a small division, but he still put up production. He still put up productional numbers. Is it something that you can work
I
on?
also don't. I'm also not familiar with any of the other wide receivers that he's been with, so he might have been their own. You know how people become your only offense, or like you're their only weapon. So that could also be the
Mhm.
argument of where his production came from. So
Forcing them the ball.
All right, so somebody asked about Landon Jackson. My stupid ass kept looking up Landon Johnson, wondering why I couldn't find him.
I like Landon Jackson. He's just not a scheme fit for us.
Yeah. Sacks. Hell. Hold on, let me just go to somewhere else where I can see it.
He went from LSU to
What's his
Arkansas.
measurables? So again, remember, we're looking for a lot of blue and green, and he pops off with a lot of that. His height is in the blue. He's 6'6". He got small hands at 10 inches.
I don't consider that small, but
I mean, there is some truth to men's hands versus their feet.
It's
It's usually true.
listen. This is what you can say about that. Man, is like they comparing those hands to his size. He got small hands for his size.
Yeah.
okay.
I hope he ain't wearing no damn 10-foot because, like, at 6'6", you usually are probably wearing, I'm thinking somewhere around a 16, 17. And if you only got 10-inch hands, yeah, he got some small ass hands. But I mean, is he productive with them is my next question. 40 time was 4.68. That's great. Vert, great. 3-cone, great.
Mm-hmm.
His weight, 264.
I'll tell you what though, when he is slim, but he doesn't look it. He does not look it though. Watching him at the combine, he does not look 264. He looks bigger than that to me. I'm shocked he weighed in at 264. I thought he was at least maybe 275.
He's fast as hell though.
I swear I saw something that said he weighed 270 something.
Mm-hmm. That's what he weighed in at this. I know at the combine they usually have y'all what they have you like cut water or something. So like
they make. Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if that is a factor, but either way,
he got some big numbers. His offensive rating is 79%, tackling 84%, pass rush 80%, his run defense, and that's the number I keep looking at. Run defense, he's at a 95.
Listen, this dude is. If we was switching back to a 4-3, this would be our dude. The issue is that you're not going to be able to. They're not going to, with his size, they're not going to be able to keep him on the field more than, except for obvious pass rush possessions. It's just his size. He doesn't fit the scheme, and I know that everybody's saying, "Oh, Evero might not be here forever," and all that kind of stuff like that. But this is where we're at now.
How's he not fitting? Well, I'm gonna ask this: why do you think he's not fitting the scheme?
Because
he's known for run defense.
Because this dude, he okay. You can put him on for first down, or obvious pass rush or obvious passing possessions. The thing about it is that you don't want to put him on the field and use him as an outside linebacker.
Hmm.
That's my only issue with that. For two pass rush sets, he's great. For putting him on the field first down if they plan on running the ball, he's great. But
Let's
when
see
you
what
get
his
into the,
weaknesses are. Says his limited bend and flexibility around the arc struggles to flatten and turn the corner against athletic tackles. Initially gets off, is more methodical than explosive, won't consistently threaten the edge with pure speed, and can play too high and at times in push rush, allowing blockers to get into his frame and stall his momentum. Not a natural space player, looks mechanical when asked to change direction or operate in coverage. He shouldn't be operating in coverage if his strength is stopping the run.
Mm-hmm.
Still developing a complete pass rush plan, relies heavy on power moves and needs to expand his repertoire. Look, man, look, if a guy jumps off the page for stopping the run, then that's where you should put him at. Like
Yeah.
on obvious
Well,
pass plays, then you pull him off the field.
Twan, me and you watched this kid at the goddamn combine.
Mm-hmm.
All that shit they talking about. Oh, he lacks he looks like a robot and stuff like that. I
I
didn't
didn't
see
see
that.
it.
I didn't see no robot shit.
He wasn't some
What I
panties.
saw was a guy.
Nobody.
I was
I
gonna
don't give it.
say,
I don't give a damn. The dude blew up the combine.
Nick,
yeah,
are you saying that he won't fit our scheme? I guess I'm trying to figure out because literally the first sentence under his scattering report says that Jackson projects as a starting base end in an even front or strong defensive end in a 3-4.
Hmm.
so that's when they're talking about when we're it's for sure this is going to be a pass rush set. That's what they're talking about right there. You can do that with y'all, but this is somebody. This ain't somebody you can keep on the field for 3 downs. Especially if you have your outside linebackers who are edge rushers dropping the coverage.
Well, I mean, what we talking about on this show anyway? Because Nick wasn't here at the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
We're looking for these dominant and rough guys that can come in and play behind somebody that we can develop. You know what I'm saying? We're talking about guys that are going to be really, really good, not just depth, but real dogs, real weapons at depth, and not just guys that's just going to play behind somebody and just be out there. We're talking about guys that are going to be hungry, trying to take over the guy that's in front of them. One thing I do love about what we did with a lot of players we picked up is we only signed them to like 1 or 2 years, not a long time. So
Well, their money's only guaranteed for up to 2 years, but their contracts are 3 to 4 years long.
and it says like one of his strengths, it says shows advanced hand technique in pass rush, throws a nasty cross chop move, and knows how to set up his counters.
You know what? This is one of his weaknesses. I don't understand why they say he put him in a 3-4 because this seems like if he plays too high, you don't want him standing up.
Mm-hmm.
This is the guy who derives his power from being low. So I don't think this is not a guy you want standing up. That's why I said I don't that because I had already seen the thing they said that he plays high sometimes, which you get a tackle like Tristan Wirfs. If you're up high, he's going to punch at your body so that way you can't turn the corner.
Mm-hmm.
So that was what I meant for a scheme fit for me because his size does not scream 3-4 to me. His size seems I'm gonna put my hand in the dirt and I'm gonna blow you up using the ground with force. That's what
think
it screams to me.
I think it just depends. He's got that word tied to him that I said to be on the lookout for when it comes to these players on the defensive side of the ball, which is versatile. They like that word a lot. So I like Landon Jackson. He's someone who I've kept my eye on for a while. My biggest fear with him is, I guess, kind of what Nick is alluding to. It's what is as great as he is with his measurables. Maybe not the biggest standout as far as like his sacks, and consistency or whatever. But the biggest thing is Evero going to know what to do with him?
That's a whole nother
It's
story.
just for this 1 year, regardless if he's here next year or not. Is he going to know what to do with him with this 1 year? And if not, then he's going to, in my opinion, just become like another DJ Johnson, which is unfortunate.
Yeah. That's the tricky part with us, man, is trying to figure out what coach we gonna get next year. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully, like I said, they're not gonna be letting Evero do too many picks. Maybe one guy they like, but they got to be very careful how we select on defense. somebody asked about Kyle Monangai. Yeah, late round monster. I mean, we already got 3 running backs, but if you wanted to bring him in, he's gonna get drafted. He's not gonna be an undrafted free agent. But this is his numbers. He started his career off in the COVID season, so that's why see those zeros going across the top. He's really a true 4-year player, but he was at the school for 5 years. So look, so he had 236 yards in 21, went up to 445 yards in 2022. Then he got 1,262 yards in his junior year, and he just finished 1,279 yards, about the same, just like about 15 yards off. And great production. Played at Rutgers. They played decent teams. Averaging 5.2 yards a carry. He's on the small side. I'll go ahead and tell you that right now. He's on the small side. He ain't super bulky, but he got like that low to the ground strength. He caught the ball more this year, 14 receptions for 75 yards. And yeah, man, 8 TDs last year, 14 this year. So I think he would be a great pickup late on in the round.
I do believe they're going to take a running back, though. I believe they're going to take a running back.
We need so much defensive help that I like him. You know what I'm saying? I don't think we can get him, though. We got more glaring needs. I love Monangai. I love him. Let me get to my man Flame for Jesus. Flame for Jesus said Turk Size with the $10 super chat. And shout out to Flame again. He said Turk Size doesn't scream 3-4. We are paying him $18 million a year. We will see, but I don't trust Dan to make the right picks anyway. We will see, and isn't too far off. And look, man, I'm gonna take a break from these players, and I'm gonna ask y'all guys, and because I asked this question the other day, I'm so glad that Flame just reminded me of this when I asked y'all this, and that's no, it's a possibility because anything is a possibility. Do y'all truly trust Dan Morgan to go into this draft and not fuck it up?
I do.
Yep, I do.
I do.
Well,
I only say just because
from 1 to 100, what percentage do you trust him at?
88.
If you say 100%, you're wilding.
I give him 90%.
90.
I give him 75.
Yeah.
I said 88.
I'm giving him a 60.
That's
I
fair.
don't. That's fair. But look, this is one. I want to say this.
Because of some of the shit he did last year, I don't trust him yet. He got to be way different this year. I don't trust Dan Morgan going into this draft. He did 2 dumbass things in the last draft. So,
But not everybody agrees with you on that.
that's cool. And that's why everybody gets an opinion. I'm not saying people have to go with what I'm saying. I'm like flame for Jesus. And you're like, look, man. He said, I don't trust Dan. I don't trust Dan either.
I trust Dan. I'm unfortunately. This is a truth that I'm about to tell. Dan Morgan is the only GM for the Carolina Panthers that has tried to get the trenches right.
Mm.
I mean, that's fair. That's also fair. I can't sit there and argue that. I know. Well, I say that, but there was one year where we did draft all defense when we had Matt Rule. I think it was Matt Rule was here.
Yeah, it was
that did not. Well, I think it was that the same draft that we got Derek Brown, or was that a different draft?
No, that was the same. That was
That
the
was the
draft
same
we got
draft.
Derek Brown.
Okay. Okay.
But
I
yeah,
think Derek
and
Brown
you look at
wasn't he the only one that we retained from that draft too?
But look,
God almighty.
Yes.
and look, and I'm sure Flame probably remembers, but Dan Morgan went on the record in the press conference and said that Tillis immediately told him, "You have to fix this O-line." That makes me feel like Dan Morgan was thinking something else at the time. And Tillis was like, nah, before we do anything, we got to fix this line. And everybody didn't agree with what the money we spent on the linemen. I say money well spent. That line looked great.
that money was well spent, and I just want everybody to realize that Robert Hunt isn't the only guard in the NFL that is getting paid tackle money. He isn't the only one. There
He's
are
that good.
there are several guards that are getting paid tackle money, and I don't know if y'all realize that Robert Hunt has a trophy a hit list of defensive tackles that he didn't put in the dirt to include Derek Brown.
Yeah, I was about to say this. I was about to say, including Derek Brown.
just letting y'all know, man. Anybody who questions that $100 million that they gave him,
he put Derek Brown in the ground, bro.
He did. He put Derek Brown in the down. He put Dexter Lawrence in the ground. I mean, they didn't even put freaking your boy Jones on his side because they knew that wasn't gonna work. I'm just saying, man, that was money well spent. I agree with you on that. And if Tillis was the mastermind behind that, well, all I can say is that this is the first front office. I'm gonna say that. I'll put it together. I won't even give it all to Dan. This is the first front office that has focused on getting the trenches right in Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
I still don't trust that more.
Okay.
I know.
I'm got a fun one.
Even though he got it right, the whole thing with him pointing out what Tillis relayed to him means that this fool was actually thinking about going in a different direction. We all knew we need to get them trenches right. You was not going to get everything. You wasn't going to get everything. See, this is the thing that people on the outside think. They think you're going to go in a draft and get everything that you need, man. Sometimes when you're in a bad situation, you have to fix one side of the ball first.
Yeah.
And I think they made an honest effort to try to fix the offense. And I mean, Bryce didn't capitalize on the things that they fixed. But at the end of the day, Cuba did.
They did. It's just that he just didn't do what he needed to do. But like I said, this ain't no Bryce thing. This is a team thing. We're gonna see what these guys can do when it comes to this year.
I think y'all agree with this when I say this too. Well, it's halfway. This is how halfway Dan Morgan. I don't trust him to draft, but off-season acquisitions, he's so far. I love it. His offseason acquisitions are great. The draft, he only had one so far, and I felt like he struggled in that shit. I gave him a damn D, as in dog. But I mean, he can make it right this year. He can make it right this year. The Carolina is not the team that you just put all your trust in people in, man. I mean, we keep getting our feelings hurt every year, and people got to prove it to me, man.
I understand that, and I ain't putting.
So,
The only reason I have high hopes is one.
He can make it right though.
One, he went into last year's draft with Scott Fitterer's scouting team.
Bullshit.
We need bullshit.
Who told him to do that?
No. I was saying he went into. You said he went to Scott Fitterer.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Who told him?
Yeah,
You can't fire the scouting team at the end of the season. The work is already done. Shy Tuttle said, "Hey boss, hey, let me give you this $3 million. Let me stay." Hey, he begged to stay. You can't. Hey, when people give you
picked up nowhere else.
when people,
I was gonna say,
hey, look,
he knew he was gonna be unemployed.
Listen, I ain't got no problems with Shy Tuttle no more. As soon as Shy Tuttle decided to say, "Hey boss, here, let me give you these $3 million," I ain't got no problems. No problems. They said Shy Tuttle came to them to give him $3 million back. Hey, thank you.
He said, "I got too much money anyway, man. Y'all can take some of this back." I ain't play good.
Listen, I'm pretty sure Shy Tuttle's wife told him she don't want to go nowhere else.
Nope. Shout out to Flame for Jesus for the $2 super chat. Flame is showing that love today, man, as always. Is Tuttle still here? He said he likes him too. Yeah, man. Tuttle helped him with them checks.
Hey,
sounds like lip service to me.
Kitty kept it real with me. She said, at Twan, she said, your feelings probably gonna get hurt again this year too, man. I'm afraid. Man, look, bro, I don't feel comfortable with them. We struggle drafting, bro.
Facts.
And
this year it's gonna be easy. So how are they gonna look? Claire has been the greatest at keeping us updated on everybody that the Carolina Panthers have been talking to, right, Claire? Everybody they visit, talk to, she's the best. She's kept us updated with anybody that stepped their damn foot into that damn Charlotte office or however they met.
Yeah.
I'm not fucking excited about the names that they I'm like, what are we talking for?
Yeah, but so listening to this is something I'm listening to.
I truly believe you can get a dog in every round. You know, you just gotta search for that guy that people overlooked in the late rounds.
Listen, Twan, this is what I'm about to say. I was listening to Pat Kerwin today. Pat Kerwin said that he used to bring in dudes that he wasn't even thinking about drafting. He said it's the gamesmanship. He said it's the gamesmanship just to throw other people off where you're going.
Well, I mean, like I said, I told somebody if it's a smoke screen, I love it. If you tell me to come to Charlotte and I'm just a part of your scheme, man, I might cuss your ass out before I get up out of there, man. You flew me over here for nothing.
They not gonna tell him that.
What the hell? Yeah, go ahead, Claire.
I was gonna say they did. I don't know if anyone saw it in the Discord. They did meet with Braden Swinson today. I know that's an edge rusher some people have talked about in the past.
I like Braden Swinson.
We are here talking to motherfucking basketball players, 6'9" basketball players.
I was jokingly, I said I would, shit a Christmas ornament if he ends up being better than Ian Thomas.
I knew you were joking.
So with that,
hey, listen. I mean, is it really hard to be better than Ian Thomas?
No,
if
it's
you've never
not.
played
But I
football
can.
before, but
We're not going to do the end time slam.
we're not having this conversation. However, outside of that, so a name
We ain't doing that.
that I do want to bring to everybody's attention.
Go ahead.
A name that I do want to bring to everybody's attention is Sean Dolick.
Sean Dolick.
Yes, he is out of Buffalo.
Linebacker from
Not he's a linebacker from Buffalo. Not the Bills, but
Spell his name.
I think he spells it Shaun, and then Dolick is D as in dog OLAC.
Gotcha.
Hey,
This
listen.
dude look crazy.
I love Sean Dolick. He is definitely going to be a guy that could potentially go late. If not, he will be undrafted. But his numbers are something that I refuse to ignore.
Either what?
Hold
What
on.
position?
He's a linebacker.
Linebacker.
Yes.
Inside linebacker, outside linebacker.
He's done both, but mostly he's inside. He's definitely inside.
Oh, there he is.
Yep. So 6 sacks, 168 tackles. That's just from this past year in 2024. Solo tackles, I think he's got 81, 87. If I could get my stuff to pull up.
6 sacks is not bad. Tackles 168. No
That's pretty
forced
good.
fumbles. But you don't have to have forced fumbles all the time. Solo tackles 81. That's nice.
That's nice right there. That's nice.
I told y'all about that green. You need to pop with that greens and the blues and yellows.
He's undersized.
They don't like his height.
Hey.
That's understandable. The position he plays. He's got small hands. But that 40 time, 4.63, the vert, 35.5, 3-cone, 6. I don't give a shit about the 3-cone, man. I don't care.
Well, actually, so I'm gonna say this right here: the 3-cone drill for linebackers. The 3-cone drill for linebackers is important because it shows change of direction.
Yes.
It's a better drill that I look at, man. I mean, all of them are changing direction when you see them run it. I just don't really care about that. That 3-cone is so old. I think it's other things that show you with sharper turns and those drills that they ran now in the combine, but still, I'm game film at the end of the day. The combine is just entertainment.
Yeah, but that 3-cone says that this dude's a sideline to sideline dude.
His weight is trash. His weight is super trash. They put him at 0 on the weight.
221. He ain't a small man. He's a small linebacker. That's just the issue.
They say he's gonna get ran over. Let's look at his strength.
All right. Well, hey.
I was going to say to add to this that they don't.
Outside.
Well, the thing that they're not bringing up either is also last year he had 5 interceptions.
Oh, shoot. He can cover too.
So 168 total tackles last year, 81 solo, 87 assisted, 6 sacks, 5 interceptions. And he returned one of those for a touchdown.
They don't have his strength and weaknesses up here.
I was going to say he's not. I was going to say why he's not been scouted more, I'm not entirely sure, but they don't have a full draft profile out on him. He did not go to the combine. He didn't get an invite. In 2023, I can't remember if there was 2 years where he didn't play as much. 1 year was because of injuries and another year was because of a coaching change. In 2022, his stats almost mirror exactly what 2024 was. I think in 2023 he got injured, and in 2021 is when they had a coaching change post-COVID. So he wasn't on the field as much. But when he is fully healthy and he's utilized on the field, starting, he dominates. So in 2022, he had 148 total tackles. 97 of those were solo, and 51 of those were assisted. 4.5 sacks, 3 forced fumbles, 1 interception was 2022. So
you know what I always resort to: put him on special teams, man, and let him earn a spot.
Mm-hmm. So to me, he is somebody who I think could be a diamond in the rough. Just the production from the tackles alone, especially the fact that his solo tackle counts are fairly high. it tells me he's not afraid to wrap up. He's not afraid to, get out there and be dominant. But those 5 interceptions, the 6 sacks, the forced fumbles, to me he's very well rounded for being in a small conference, and somebody who I think we could definitely look at in the undrafted list. And I do believe wholeheartedly, especially with him being up in Buffalo and with Dan Morgan spending some time up there, I could definitely see there being some kind of connection, because he stayed at Buffalo the entire time. He didn't transfer from a larger school to go to a smaller school to become like to have like the bigger stats or the bigger name to be a bigger name there. He has stayed there the entire time. So that's just somebody who I've got my eye on.
Man,
Well,
he
some
looks on paper. He looks decent.
Some people may look at him not transferring as him being that he doesn't want the smoke, he doesn't want the pressure, he doesn't want to be a bigger name for himself to make him stand out over everybody else. But
he wanted to stay home.
Look at that, but what I also look at that is loyalty and trust, loyalty to where he's at, and he trusts the coaching system. Even if there's a coaching change, he still trusts the system that's there. So he may went through a coaching change or two, but he stayed loyal to where he was at. So that means he's used to a fluctuation of in and out coaches. So if someone gets fired,
but
I understand that, but I get that, but also at the same time, there be some guys where you kind of need like a little bit of loyalty, like yo, this guy made leave, but you know what? This guy stuck with me through thick and thin. I can trust him to do what I need him to do to get the damn job done. And sometimes that can make you stand out. Sometimes that can make you stand out too. Not just field of play. Sometimes you may need that person to step up and be that leader, and he can step up and be that leader.
Let me shout out.
Hey, quick tribute.
Hold.
Yeah. Oh no. Go ahead.
Let me shout out Shisha Cash for the $5 donation to the channel, man. Look, I'm glad you said it, Shush. You said, I know we're not picking no Tyler Warren at number 8 by signing Colin Granger. I just think that picking Tyler Warren at number 8 was crazy talk any damn way.
I was gonna say,
that was never a thing for me, bro. I'm like, I don't get it.
Colin Granger would not be the reason why we picked Tyler Warren. The fact that we brought back Tommy Tremble and that we are sticking to our guns with keeping Tommy Tremble as tight end 2 or 1 between him and Jatavian Sanders, and we've already got, I think, we've got 1 or 2 other tight ends on the roster that would be practice squad guys or guys that would work for that tight end 3 spot. I wouldn't look at Colin Granger as the blockade for drafting Tyler Warren. I think re-signing Tommy Tremble is the blockade for the reasons why we're not going after, Tyler Warren. And also taking a tight end for a one-hit wonder, no, he's not worth it. I'm sorry. Not at pick 8.
DCast at Claire's 100% right. There's also another linebacker on the same team that is a tackle machine, Red Murdoch. And then he says that Dolik had 168 tackles, and Murdoch had 156. Hey, man, look at all the people in here, man, that do their homework, bro. Shout out to D-Cash, bro. You know
I just happen to like Sean Dolik a little bit better.
Okay. It's his preference.
Red Murdoch is still good. I just really like Sean Dolik. And I think it's because of his stats. He reminds me of a former Panther. I'm not saying he is that Panther, but just the way he plays. I've watched his tape, the interceptions, the way he runs, the way he, once he gets the ball, even once he gets the interception, the way he avoids and moves. He's just a very athletic guy who just happens to be on a small team. I like him. So, but, I was going to think I was going to say if we have time for another guy. I know, Twan, you've talked about him briefly. I think we've all heard his name on other podcasts, but does anyone want to talk about David Walker from Central Arkansas?
We can look at him.
I like him. Yes.
He'll be the last guy for today because we said we're going to do a short show. David.
Okay.
We'll take a look at his
production is consistent.
On there.
That's what I love about his is just the consistency of his
I
production.
think the only reason that he's going so low is because he's a little undersized.
He's what, 6'2", 2?
I thought it was 6'1".
Oh, I thought he was 6'2". Oh well. But yeah, David Walker is definitely a guy to keep an eye on.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you, Claire. I love David Walker.
And I've got other lists. I've even got lists of offensive guys, but we're not going to have the time to go through them all.
Oh, we're gonna do a part 2 to this.
Okay.
This is just the first part, man. You know, we're gonna be talking about weapons on both sides. I think we really tackled a lot of the things on defense today.
Mm-hmm.
We'll go on the other side during the week, man. Probably link up on either Thursday night or Friday morning. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. As promised, this is David Walker out of Central Arkansas.
Yes.
Sacks, 10.5 sacks.
Not bad at all.
Fumbles forced. He forced 4
bad.
fumbles. Tackles 68. Solo tackles 45. And I know you guys like, man, Twan, we can't see that shit. But we about to go down. Oh Lord. I told you,
he
man.
is 6'1". But that weight.
This is the only thing I don't like, bro. When I right away when I look at the measurables, I see a lot of orange. A lot of orange on this. But so let me see what they don't like about him. They don't like his height. They say he's got small hands.
He's in the
His 40 was
99th
decent.
percentile for weight.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
He ran 4.69. I think that's decent. His vert was good at 35. He was in 61 percentile with that. 3-cone was a 7.15. His weight is really good based on them at 263. His arms, it's close to that middle orange, but it's more on that hot orange side. His
My
shut
biggest
is
thing is
bad.
that wingspan, though. That span is
Yeah.
not bad at all, though. That would probably make up for some of that.
His broad is average. His
Mm-hmm.
bench press, he's strong as hell.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, he's in 81 percentile. His span is good, 77.18, 84 percentile. And his 10-yard split is not good. The 1.65. But man, you know, that's debatable because like I told y'all, it's one thing in seeing somebody doing something in a combine or when you're being clocked for something or whatever, and then it's the film. I always defer to the film.
Definitely do it with this guy.
Yeah.
This guy has even openly stated that he excels being an edge rusher in that outside linebacker type of position in the 3-4. So can't argue scheme fit here.
No.
Look at that pass rush and run defense. Ah, yes.
This is what I love right here, though. Tackling 77%, pass rush 100. Y'all want to stop the run? His run defense is 100.
And his coverage grade isn't bad either.
87. Yeah. They just don't like his tangibles. ESPN gave him a 2 out of 5 stars. They don't like him. 247 didn't like him either. They gave him a 2, and Rivals gave him a 2.
I think that was his recruiting grade, right? Out of high school. Yeah.
I think so.
Right?
I think it might have been a 2-star. I'm thinking that's what it is. I'm truly thinking that's what that is.
You know what? Did you notice who they compared him to? And I think that speaks a lot. They compared him to Chris Braswell and Dallas Turner, both of those Alabama type.
Yeah.
Those are not bad comparisons.
Chris Braswell and Dallas Turner. It's not.
I mean, he's a beast. I mean, don't get me wrong. He's a beast.
He's got a lot of strengths.
Yes.
His first thing they say is he's super athletic. And if you're super athletic, I don't know if you guys see sometimes when guys go into college and they don't have a position next to them, they just said athlete. That means he can do a lot of shit good. You know, we're not able to condense him to one position. They said made Bruce Feldman's freak list at number 76. He wrote Walker had 66 tackles, 21 tackles for loss, 12 sacks in 2022. The 6'2", 260 pound Atlantic Suns Conference Defensive Player of the Year, runs 40 in 4.65 vertical jump, 36 inches, and power clean 374. He's strong as hell. It says he's also squatted 615
615?
pounds this offseason and bench 225 for 24 reps. Man,
Oh,
that
ain't no
squat
way.
is mean.
Ain't no way, Lord.
Oh man, bro. I tried 550 once and I almost let that shit go. I
My
mean,
the hands.
can only get one out of me, bro.
The hand usage though, which is key.
Man, the most I've ever cleaned was about 300.
Mm-hmm. It said possesses a ferocious hand usage, like Claire mentioned. Hand leverage, advantage combined with explosive power enables him. Like, man, if y'all say all this shit about this dude, why is he going in the 6th round?
Because he played for Central Arkansas.
Yes,
Yeah.
that means he
Mike,
played for
Mike Green.
No, read the next one. Read the next one.
Yeah. Mike Green,
Runs
he says
angry.
runs angry. And I said, I
Has
want
a-
angry dogs on this team, bro.
with a motor that never quits.
Showing impressive range when hunting down ball carriers from the man. Yeah, we got to go after this guy. Just the dog of him alone. Convert speed to power effortlessly. Effectively driving tackles backwards and opening B gap rushing lanes that weren't there initially. Motherfucker created them.
He creates his own stuff. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Last one shows some dog in him when attacking the football, consistently ripping and tearing to create. Man, this dude plays angry, and that's what I was trying to tell you about Ty Robinson. You got to get a bunch of guys like that's a weapon of mass destruction. This guy plays angry. You got to be that guy like when the dog is loose in your neighborhood, like you ain't going outside until they find his ass, bro. I'm not going out there as long as King is loose. I'm staying my ass in the house.
That very last bullet point is probably the biggest thing that's hurting him, Twan, outside of his height and his length. It's that. Competition level creates legitimate projection questions, dominated FCS opposition, but lacks reps against NFL caliber offensive tackles.
Physical
That's
frame
probably
at
the biggest knock.
263 pounds. Physical frame at 263 pounds appears maxed out without the height to distribute additional functions. Strong while maintaining explosiveness. Hey, look, man, all these things could be his weaknesses, but all this shit right here makes up for it. I see dog, man.
Oh, the kid is.
I see dog.
But you know what? But this is what I don't like about that,
dog.
Torn. I'm gonna say this, and I'm being 100% biased.
Okay.
I don't like that you give him his preps, but you don't give Mike Green his props.
I do give Mike Green his props.
No, you don't.
I think the argument with Mike Green, and I'm not trying to speak for you, Twan, comes with the fact that Mike Green is someone we are arguing being first round worthy when David Walker is not. So, and again, obviously y'all know I have been talking about Mike Green ever since he was projected to be a 6th round pick. I did not ever expect him to get as high as the 1st round though. I found that to be interesting. But honestly, if you were to ask my honest opinion, I can't believe I'm admitting it because I love Mike Green a ton, regardless of his, litigation issues off the field. What I feel like if realistically, I would see, and I get the 18 sacks or 17 sacks is hard to overlook.
What's going on, Big Tight?
I genuinely would actually see Mike Green as being more of a probably early to mid day 2 at the highest to maybe early day 3. Realistically, why he has gotten so much hype outside of his high sack count for last year.
Didn't he lead the NCAA in sacks?
I just acknowledged that, Nick. But what I'm telling you is that the same arguments that Twan that you're trying to make against Twan for, you'll give David Walker his props, but not Mike Green. If we were talking about taking Mike Green at pick 57, I promise you Twan would not be as harsh on the conversations with Mike Green. I just really like him because even though he definitely does. I'm not a Marshall fan, but I love the fact that someone who I saw early on as someone who would be a diamond in the rough had launched that high. Because I've been talking about this kid for months, and all of a sudden now he's like in the first round. I'm like, oh my God, okay. So I really did see something genuine with this prospect. Like, it wasn't just me. Other people have seen it. But him going in the late first, definitely. I would top 8 is still, for him to be top 10 is a reach. Even though I've loved talking about Mike Green for so long. To me, top 10 is still a reach for him.
Too much.
You know, I like him. I love his sack count. I think at the next level, if the Panthers trade back and take him, I'm not mad. I think taking him at 8,
I'm giving Nick the green light. If he turns out to be the absolute dog, and the guy we took is not as good as him, I'm giving Nick can go off on me. I won't say nothing. But until then, hell no.
Well, okay, not because I know we're trying to get out of here, but let's just between you and Nick here. If at 8, if someone were to tell you at 8 you can only pick Mike Green or Nicky Manwari, who are you taking? Both would be a reach at 8 either way. But who are you taking?
And that's gonna be hard for Nick.
I might take that. I don't know. I might take Nick because that dude's a monster.
Okay. But I think the biggest thing, though, the biggest difference is safety is the highest, in my opinion. Now safety has turned into the biggest position of need for us. I know everybody wants to talk about
for me.
Well, linebacker, I could agree, but
top 2. It's still the top 2 though.
Yeah.
Top 2.
I think they're interchangeable depending on who you're picking and where you're picking them at.
Absolutely.
But yeah.
I agree with that. Well, man, we said we was going to give y'all a short show tonight, man. You know, Nicholas, how's the wife, man? She all right?
She just got the flu.
Okay. That ain't just the flu, man. That shit don't feel good.
Man, the flu sucks, bro.
Yeah, bro. Hey, listen, look, man, I want to thank the co-host here, man, Claire, my man, Nick. As you know what I'm saying, I have the greatest staff out there, man. If you don't believe that, you know what I'm saying, then what type of show are you running? You know what I'm saying? Or whatever. We coming, you know what I'm saying? We got the new logo up there in the corner, man. Like I said, you know, we want to get back over to the merch and things like that or whatever, and we have to do that before the summer hits. We're going to be announcing our fan of the year. I will give you a hint. He was probably in this chat tonight. And I know my people are like, well, we discussed this already. Yeah, we're gonna have to discuss it again.
Yeah, I was gonna say I want to discuss it again. I want to discuss it again. We've been throwing around names.
It's so evident at this point now, man.
Yeah, to me it is. Yes.
What we're gonna do is Claire does artwork every year, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. We'll try to figure out who your favorite player is, and we'll get that artwork in for you. We're also gonna give you a jersey of the player on your team of your liking, and we'll get that out to you as well. We've taken care of our subscribers and our fans of the year over every year, man. We give out quality stuff, man. You know what I'm saying? So make sure y'all keep liking the channel. Liking what we do. Shout out to Flame for Jesus, man. $5 super chat said, everyone have a blessed evening and week. And man, that dude is special, bro. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Flame. We thank you for your company. We thank you for everybody's company. And as we always say over here, man, we thank the chat more than anything. Because without y'all, this ain't no damn show. Without y'all, no podcast is a show. You know what I'm saying? And we believe in showing off the people, man, including y'all into what we do. You guys are some of the greatest, man. You know what I'm saying? And thank you for supporting us. You know what I'm saying? You guys can be doing whatever you want to do, but when you spend time with us, it feels good on the inside, man. It really, really, really does. Kitty said, everyone have a great week. And that's what I hope everybody have a great rest of your week. I'm going to let Nick shout y'all out. Then we'll go Edge, and then we'll go Claire, and then we'll get out of here.
Hey, I just want to shout out to Flame for Jesus. You know, always showing love. Always showing love, man. And just shout out to everybody who came through.
All right. Edge.
I want to thank everybody that came through on the show. We appreciate y'all coming through. You know, hey, freaking shout out to everybody. We love y'all. Can't do this without you guys. And I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna rock out my show Thursday. No, not Thursday. Friday. I'm gonna roll up my show on Friday.
Okay. I'll be here. And YouTube, pay us something, man. We've been waiting 2 months. YouTube holding out all our money for. Shout out, hey, go ahead, Claire.
Shout out to everybody who came through. Shout out to Flame, and who has it been Flame? Oh yeah, Cheshire Cat for monetary donations. But again, you guys do not have to do any monetary donations when you join. It's always appreciated. Well, not when you join, but when you watch us. Just your participation, hitting that subscribe button, and please hit that notification bell, because I feel like that might be part of it. With some of you guys not getting your notifications, make sure that
hit the notification bell.
Yeah, and set it for all. Don't just set it for all. So anytime we go live, anytime we post something, you'll get the notification. But outside of that, yeah, just have a great rest of your week, guys. I'm wishing it was Friday already. I don't like wishing time away, but I do wish it was Friday. But outside of that, keep pounding. Enjoy your week.